fashion. Soon I'll be queen of summertime. Oh, king!
Season 6, Episode 1, Bart of Darkness. Episode number 104 overall in the series. A heat wave hit Springfield, and the residents are, well, let's just say a little affected by it.
Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy.
Bart and Lisa convince Homer to buy the family a pool, in typical kid fashion. Coercion.
Before you respond, you must understand that your refusal would result in months and months of... Can we have a pool, Dad? 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 Can we have a pool, Dad?
Now that the Simpsons have a pool, all the neighborhood kids want to come over and hang out. However, Bart breaks his leg and has to spend the summer watching Lisa's popularity rise, while he turns into a reclusive weirdo who begins spying on the neighborhood with a telescope. And during this time, he discovers what he believes to be a murder next door at the Flanders house. Production was delayed due to the 1994 Northridge earthquake, when structural damage would cause the building to be closed for a short time period. But this delay worked out well because producers had an extra month to refine the little details of the episode. For example, when Bart's skin peels off the couch as he gets up sweating, or some of the shadows on Bart as he gets wheeled into the hospital. The black and white scene of Krusty was recolored using different shades of gray, because when you simply swap a colored scene over to black and white, the colors don't always come out the way that you intend them to. The story concept of Bart spying on the neighbors from a wheelchair in the window is based on the movie Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock, as actor Jimmy Stewart's character can be seen watching Bart from another window.
Grace, come here. There's a sinister-looking kid I want you to see.
Oh.
When the Simpsons spoof something, they really go out of their way to make sure that you know that they're spoofing something. They even went so far as to match the photos in the background behind Jimmy Stewart's character. The poolmobile scene was based on a true childhood memory of producer Dave Merkin, who claims a truck would pull up in a neighborhood and for 10 cents, kids could get in and swim. He also claims that the truck would sometimes even drive around with the kids swimming in it. The chalkboard scene in the intro is a reference to a Season 3 episode, Whacking Day, where Bart gets kicked out of a religious school for singing a song about beans.
Beans, beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot.
The couch gag features a role reversal where the Simpsons family replace the couch and pieces of the couch come together to sit on the Simpsons. This episode features an Itchy and Scratchy sketch where Itchy traps Scratchy behind a brick wall. Years later, an evolved race of highly intelligent alien Itchies rescue Scratchy from behind the wall, before using their telekinetic powers to do him in. 3 deleted scenes were removed from the episode. One where Homer pours too much chlorine in the pool. Another scene features neighborhood boys trying to impress Lisa. One of the boys dunks her underwater, which initially upsets her, but when he giggles at her, she giggles back.
What is the matter with you?
Hi.
Hi.
Another scene includes Homer asking Bart's doctor if they can get a waterproof cast. However, this request is declined by a government healthcare liaison. Yeah, liaison.
But he gets to have one of those waterproof casts so he can go in the pool, right?
Well, we'd have to get that approved by our newly assigned government healthcare liaison.
The people will not tolerate such bourgeois extravagance.
This episode features an interesting character swap where Bart suddenly has to rely on his brain as his only companion,
Great. I get to spend the summer with my brain.
where Lisa gets to shut hers off and indulge in the sweet bliss of popularity.
They're only using you for your pool, you know. Shut up, brain. I got friends now. I don't need you anymore.
I've always thought this was a great episode. The first half starts off as a sort of summer comedy, and the second half evolves into this whodunit murder mystery. The finale pays off quite well, and diverts a little bit from the source material. I went back and watched Rear Window recently, and was quite surprised at the ending when it didn't exactly correlate with what I was expecting from watching the Simpsons episode. A little side note, the actor who played a pianist in a neighboring apartment is none other than Ross S. Bagdasarian Sr., who is more well recognized by his stage name David Seville, creator of the cartoon band Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yep, that Dave. He rose to popularity in 1958 with songs like Witch Doctor and the Chipmunk song, Christmas Don't Be Late. And that's more of a fun fact about the movie Rear Window. However, The Simpsons and the Chipmunks are both animated cartoon series that provided me with a lot of fond childhood memories, both of which also inspired me with a love of music. So I thought that might be worth mentioning anyways. And this episode brought us the meme that was ever so popular in 2020, with Bart getting all isolated and weird.
Oh look, there's Bart. Wave to him.
Yeah, I think we all got a little isolated and weird in 2020. Now, as a child of the 90s, I've always appreciated The Simpsons for exposing me to music from the 60s and 70s. And when you talk about popular musical moments from The Simpsons, I think the closing sequence of this episode stands up there as one of the tops, with a naked Martin Prince standing in the ruins of his brand new pool as he sings along with Summer Wind, made popular by Frank Sinatra.
The summer wind came blowing in.
Producers of The Simpsons originally wanted to release this episode at the end of season 5, which would have aired near the beginning of summer 1994. However, they pushed the episode back and used it as the opening for season 6. I remember being a kid sitting in front of the TV on September 4th, 1994, watching this episode during the final week of summer before I started school the next week. And I always thought that the end of this episode felt very appropriate for the end of summer, with Martin Prince's pool being destroyed and all the kids running off somewhere else. Now, in the grand scheme of The Simpsons history, is this one of my top favorite episodes? Well, probably not, but I do think it is a really great episode, and it was a perfect way to kick off season 6. When compared to the rest of the episodes in season 6, I would easily rank Bart of Darkness as an S-tier episode. In the grand scheme of the entire series, I might give it more of an A, but you really can't go wrong with this episode. There are laughs from start to finish, and the plot is quite engaging. I really can't recommend Bart of Darkness enough for fans who are new to the series and looking for a starting off point. It really helps you to get a sense of the characters' personalities, even if Bart and Lisa spend much of their time outside of their own element. And due to the clever writing, you really don't have to go back through the past 5 seasons in order to know that Nelson is the bully, Martin is the weak nerd, and Milhouse is the quiet friend. This was also the first time that we got to hear Flanders scream. And oh, was it glorious.